Hi everyone. Loving these lives lately. I wanted to get on here to talk about human design for parenting, and specifically how much human design really changed my life personally, but also as a parent. So I was introduced to human design almost exactly 3 years ago. So it's been 3 years that I've been experimenting with human design. And when I discovered human design, my youngest, Felix, I guess he was 6 years old already at that time. And Felix, he's a wonderful kid. All kids are, right? But we were having a hard time. Maybe it was 4 years ago. I can't remember if it was 3 years ago. I feel like it was maybe 4 years ago. But anyway, Felix was like 5 or 6 at the time. And we were struggling. Felix was a lot more challenging than his older brother, Nikhil. Everything seemed to be an uphill battle with him. It just always seemed like there was this like power struggle with him. And, if you're a parent, you understand how stressful that can be, not only just from like a logistical standpoint, just the ins and outs of like the daily stuff of parenting. It's like all you ever want is ease and flow with your kids and with parenting and family life. But it also starts to wear on you, I think, as a parent. I know it did for us, feeling like we couldn't quite figure out how to properly parent him because he was so different from his older brother. His older brother, Nikhil, is just like, he was really mellow and would just kind of go with the flow. And he had his ideas about how he wanted to do things, of course, but God, it's so windy. I don't know if you can hear all the rattling of the sliding doors, but it's so windy here. Anyway, Felix was just so different. And when there's a lot of dissonance and disharmony within the family, you can't help but to feel like, what am I doing wrong, right? Like, what am I doing wrong as a parent? And how can I do better for my kid? So we discover human design, and me discovering human design and learning that I'm a projector and that I have no motors whatsoever, and it just explained everything, why I felt like I had chronic fatigue for the last 20 years, and there were other reasons too, but a huge part of it was just that I'm not energetically designed to function like most of the world. And then I discovered Felix's human design. So Felix is a manifestor. Manifestors make up 9% of the population. And when I started reading about his design and learning more and more and discovering his chart and discovering all of the nuances of his unique energetic blueprints, I was blown away. Just blown away. And there was this one thing that I read in one of the books that said that oftentimes when a manifestor child comes into the world, when they're a baby, they're just born, the parents will look at the child and they'll often say, "Who are you?" And can I just tell you, and I'm not kidding and I'm not making this up, Felix was born, and I remember my midwife put him up on my chest, and I looked at him and I literally said, "Who are you? Who are you, baby?" And this is way before I discovered human design. But it's because of the Manifesto Aura. The Manifesto Aura, we're described as repelling. It's very pushing away, and it doesn't really quite let you in, and so it can be hard. He was my baby, and I felt completely bonded to him and all of that, but there was this thing about him that I was just like, whoa, like, who are you, So learning about Felix's design, learning that he has the channel of struggle, that he has the cross of tension, all of these things, it explained so much. And he has the third line. He's a 3-5, and if you don't understand human design, then this is going to sound like a foreign language to you. But all to say that, everything that we were experiencing about Fee that was so difficult to us, it's just how he's designed to be, and he's perfect. He actually was being in his fullest expression. And for a manifester, so Felix just literally would always make things more difficult than they need to be. He still does, but now we joke about it. He's 9, and I've taught him about his human design since day one of me learning about it. And so he really understands, and he finds it very fascinating. He likes to look at his chart, and we talk a lot about our human designs and our unique needs, our unique energetic needs. My other child is a generator. So just learning that Felix, he literally has this energy in his chart, and the chart, he is his chart, right? But in his energetics, where he does make things more difficult. He's designed to do that. He's designed to bring tension into a situation in order to find peace and harmony, to find balance. And so now and he also has the third line. The third line's the martyr. It's all about like, you have to bump into life. You bump into life and life bumps into you. But he has a way of just kind of making things more difficult than they need to be. And like, we always joke about how he's just always trying to burn shit down to the ground. Like, he's such the martyr. He'll be so hungry and so tired and so thirsty, but he'll refuse to eat, drink, or go to bed. I mean, he'll just like pass out on the couch. But it used to feel like, what is wrong with this kid? And like, what are we doing wrong in all of these things? But then when we understood his human design, it was like, oh, he's just being himself. He's showing up perfectly as himself. And so you can imagine what a huge sigh of relief this was for us as parents. And it just explains so much. And so then we started to understand like how we can best serve him, how we can support him, and how to kind of navigate that power struggle. How to let him be him, but also create more harmony and flow within the family. So it's been incredibly helpful, even with our older child, understanding his mechanics, his energetics, and being able to really fully support him. And so one thing that I love about human design is that it's this framework from which we can, it's like understanding it as parents. And by the way, everything that I'm saying and everything about human design, like, yeah, human design really is for the younger generation so that we can allow them to grow up without all the conditioning and the expectations that we grew up with, right? Because we're in this process of unlearning, right? Trying to get ourselves back into energetic alignment. But imagine if you could just like do that for your kids right off the bat. Imagine like how much pain and suffering and therapy, and they're probably going to have to go through therapy anyway, right? But like, I guess what I'm saying is like, we have this amazing tool, and human design is not the only helpful tool, but it's one of them. And it's really a way to fully honor your child. And it takes the pressure off of you as the parent, because we're not here to mold our children. We're not here to mold them. That's not our job. Our job is to support them, to create an environment that is supportive, that is spacious, energetically spacious, right? We get to set them up for success so that they can thrive as unique individuals in the fullest expression of who they are, so that we can have a world where we have these young people who are really self-actualized. I mean, imagine that. It's so incredible. And it really takes the pressure off of us as parents. We don't have to try so hard. All we have to do is decondition ourselves and let go of our own expectations of our kids, right? So how many times have you as a parent, or even not as a parent, but like as a human being in a relationship with somebody else, how many times have you found yourself wishing that your kid was different than they are? I mean, we all do it, right? We just think like, oh, if they were just more this or more that, or less this or less that, it would be so much easier. But it's not actually the qualities of the kid, right? It's our resistance to it. And this can be applied to any situation in life. It's our resistance to whatever is happening that creates stress. It's not the actual thing. Now, sometimes, yeah, like there's some really bad, shitty things that happen, and so it is the actual thing. But 9 times out of 10, it's our resistance to what's happening. And so it's our resistance to certain qualities that our children have that make it really stressful. But imagine if you have this framework from which to understand your kid and just say it like it was with Felix. It was like, oh, he's just being himself. Well, that's really beautiful. Let me just support him. Let me just accept him for who he is and how he shows up. And let me implement certain things to help support who he really is and to help support his energetics. It's so liberating. It really takes the pressure off of you as a parent. You don't have to try so hard. All you have to do is just let them be who they are. So I have so much to say about this, but I just wanted to share a little bit about how human design has really, really made parenting so much easier. And I'm actually teaching a human design for parenting workshop on Wednesday, I think it's May 4th at 10 a.m. And the link is in my bio to sign up if you'd like. I'm going to be sharing more info about it. I just put the sign up on my website, but it's going to be a live Zoom call. It's going to be 2 hours long because there's going to be a lot to cover, and I know that there's going to be a lot of questions. Because, I think for most people, you're going to be this is entering new territory, and it's kind of like a different language, but it's going to be really easily digested information. I love to teach about this stuff. And it's not about telling you how to parent your kid at all. It's just about sharing this really amazing framework. And it's something that you get to experiment with. Human design is not a belief system. It's not a belief system. It's just a framework that you get to experiment with and see, does it help us? Does it help me understand my child and their uniqueness more? And does it make life and parenting, family life, everything easier? So the sign up is in my bio, and if you have any questions, let me know. I have so much more to share about this, but I'll leave it at that for now. So I hope to see you guys there. If you have any questions, let me know. Sending you all love.